but these are just my top 5 essentials based on where I live and my needs. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. This is a channel that's going to be all about dog walking, dog sitting, and how to have a successful business doing so. And today we're going to be talking about my top 5 recommendations on what to put in your dog walker bag. My first item is going to be a fanny pack. I love a good old fanny pack. If you see my dog walking in the background, he is my little cameo today, so don't mind him. I love fanny packs because they are hands-free and they can carry more than you think. And as a dog walker, you don't really need that much stuff. I haven't found my perfect bag yet, but currently I'm using the Lululemon Everyday Belt Bag just because it is really made for everyday use. But it's dirty right now, so it's currently being cleaned. So I've been using this one lately. It's this Adidas bag. It's super cute. I love how compact it is and flat. I do like this one enough. It does get dirty because of the material, so I have to wash this soon. But what I like about these is that they don't have those extra tabs that hang off of the zipper tabs, because sometimes the dogs like to just jump and play with the little strings on your bag. So less dangly things, the better. The first thing I would include in my bag are treats that are specifically for training, and sometimes the dog owner would want you to use the treats that they provide. So for instance, this dog Mochi, she always has a hard time getting off the couch. So the owner told me to use this specific treat to entice her to get off the couch. This is in the shape of a little cute bear, and she usually hates getting off the couch if I am touching her on the neck or if I'm trying to lift her off the couch. She gets a little snippy. The owner knows that, and she provided these treats for me to get her off the couch and then for the walk. So I would bring these treats with me along on my walk with her to make sure she's following me and she knows I'm a safe person. If the owner didn't provide any treats for me to bring, I would bring my own. So the top 2 that I like are these Blue Wilderness Trail Treats. These are the salmon bites. I prefer salmon over chicken because some dogs are allergic to chicken. I do bring the salmon one with me. Of course, I always ask the owner if this is okay. And also this one. The other very popular treat that I've seen a lot of people bring that hasn't really worked well with me are the Trader Joe ones, but those are very popular as well. I don't have to be very fancy with it. I just put a few in my belt bag and I separate it by using Ziploc bags. Alright, so this item is going to be a hot take. I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but I actually don't like the leashes that are retractable because they're actually not that strong. I know you can lock it, you can make it short and keep it short. They're not very sturdy, especially if they slip out of your hand. And because your hands can't really wrap around the whole opening of the handle, I don't feel like I'm being very safe with it. Unless you're a tiny little human, it's really hard to grip your whole hand into that hole where your fingers go into. So I prefer these. Just simple, old school is a good leash. It's the lifeline between you and the dog, and you cannot walk a dog without a leash. You can see from my clip with Mochi, I can wrap my fingers around the leash several times. I can give her more slack. I can tighten the grip if I need to, especially if there's food on the ground. I don't want her eating it. Be very diligent and careful with how much slack you give the dog. If you're giving him or her space, giving her a lot of slack with a retractable leash, imagine they're just taking off. You are forced to pull the dog back like this, letting the string go back in and then pressing the button to tighten it. It's just a lot of things to fiddle with when you have so many things going on at once. You're picking up dog poop. You're not focusing on where the dog is right now. So the dog takes off for a squirrel and you're trying to keep the dog safe. I much prefer the ones where you can wrap your hands around it several times, so the rope leashes are the best. A common one I see a lot of dog owners use are the wild ones. I currently have a wild one as well, and I love how durable they are, and you can wash them. Throw them in a wash and they'll be good as new. Remember, a reliable leash gives you full control and ensures the safety of the pup. This additional item that goes with a leash, I really recommend as well, and it's a carabiner. A carabiner is great because you can put the house keys on it. You could leash it to the belt bag if you need to be completely hands-free. Let's say you need to pull out a pepper spray or you need to pull out a doggy bag. Carabiner is a handy item to have if you want to be hands-free anytime you need to be. Speaking of a pepper spray, I actually do carry a pepper spray with me. except not for the last 2 months because I had it taken away at TSA 2 months ago, something like that. I usually fly with it in my bag as I'm checking through the TSA, but I happen to have it on my key leash and I put it through the scanner. They said I had to remove it. So usually I'm able to get away with it by having it in my bag, but yes, I had it taken away, especially walking a dog at night or in the winter time. It gets dark a lot sooner than most days that you're used to walking the dog at 5. And you just never know when you need it, especially you just never know nowadays. I like to have a pepper spray on me just because it makes me feel a lot safer. If you're interested in purchasing the pepper spray that I got, I'll leave it in the description box down below. I really like it. It's super inexpensive. I've bought it for gifts before. It comes in multiple different colors. As for the pepper spray, I do not put it in my bag. I want people to see that I have one. I leave it on the leash with a carabiner, or I have it hooked onto my lanyard that's around my neck as I'm walking the dog. I do not put it in my bag. So the other day I was walking a dog and someone questionable came up to me, and seemingly questionable. I mean, I don't want to assume right away, but for my safety and for the safety of the dog, I want to make sure that I'm readily available to have anything I need to defend myself. But I didn't have it on me because it was confiscated. So the moment that happened to me, I was reminded why I wanted one in the first place. So I hurried and bought another one off Amazon. So I'll leave that link in the description box below. The only thing is that you need to buy this pepper spray with a driver's license or a passport number to show that you're over 18. But other than that, they'll ship it to you, no problem at all. We're all about maximizing our time here, and sometimes I have to take a phone call. I call my mom or I call the owner to tell them about anything that's happening with the dog that I think they need to know about. So I'm giving them a call, but I do not like using the AirPods. In this clip I'm about to show you, I'm wearing my AirPods here, but usually I'm wearing the wired earbuds. The reason for that is because I want to make sure that people can see that I can't hear them. So especially if I'm crossing the street, sometimes I can't hear every single thing that's happening. Let's say I need to cross the street. I want people to see that I'm on the phone. I don't want them to just assume I can hear or see them most of the time. Sometimes even walking the dog, you are distracted or you're so focused on them that you're not looking around you. So you want the drivers to know as much as possible, communicate with them that you're on the phone, especially if you really are on the phone and not just listening to music. If you're walking a dog, I do not recommend listening to music because I feel like when I'm listening to music, I tend to be distracted or I daydream and I'm not really focused on the most important thing here, and which is the safety of the dog. Always be prepared to clean up after your furry pal. A good poop bag dispenser is necessary, especially in areas where they have people hiring dog walkers. They are probably living in a pretty affluent area with a lot of neighborhood watch, and they are very concerned about the cleanliness of the neighborhood. So always, always, always pick up the dog poop no matter where you are, especially if you're trying to do a good job in the neighborhood that you're working in. So I recommend a dog poop bag holder. And anything will do. I just have a simple one like this one, and that's it. Especially if you're walking a dog from someone's house, they usually have a doggy poop bag as well. Just in case they do not, make sure you have some bags in your bag. Next time you're at the dog park and you see some doggy bags from the community, just take 1 or 2 and that will do. It's not always about being a good, responsible dog owner or walker. It's also about keeping the public space clean and making it welcoming for everyone else to use. An honorable mention that I recommend is having a reflective gear. I personally don't have a need for this because I don't walk dogs at night. That's a personal choice that I made. I do not take clients at night. But if you do, a good collar or a leash that has some reflective strips on it will be very helpful. If you want to go all out, a good vest is a good investment as well because it ensures visibility and safety for you and the pup in low light conditions. It's my top 5 essentials as a dog walker plus the honorable mention. If you have other suggestions down below that you think you cannot live without as a dog walker, definitely leave it in the comments for everyone else to learn about. But these are just my top 5 essentials based on where I live and my needs. Please keep in mind your #1 client is your dog and the safety of the dog is the most important. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit the notification bell. It really helps me more than you know. Until next time, happy walking. Bye everybody!